Well, mine started when we were on a ship heading for Guam out in the Pacific during the Second World War. I was on a L.S.T.
That's a ship?
Yeah, that's the kind of ship it was. It was a little ship. Okay.
Long season transport?
It transported amphibian tractors.
Oh, okay.
The front of the ship went down. You drove your tractor out, drove over to a transport ship where the foot Marines were at, loaded them up, and then you drove them into shore. Okay, I was on this little boat, and I had an appendix attack. No doctor, a little, oh, what do they call
EMT?
them? Yeah, no, not EMT.
A cook. How about a cook? You got a cook?
Well, almost. So
Nurse?
they didn't know, no, there was no nurses, just troops. But there was I don't know what his title was. Anyway, they didn't know what to do with me. So, and they couldn't use the radio to talk to the command ship where the doctors and everything were at. So they had to do it with flags, you know. So the flag signaled over, and while they were flagging over to the big ship to find out what to do, they took me down to the mess hall, and they were sharpening their butcher knives. No, I don't know if they were doing that. I always say they were because they didn't know what they were doing.
Mm-hmm. You got better real quick, didn't you?
Yeah, I got better real quick. And then I didn't have any more appendix problems while I was in the Marine Corps.
So they didn't end up cutting you open. You just decided it when you were done.
I got well. I didn't have any more appendix. And then I was fine until I got to
Provo, Utah.
We had got, yeah, I was in Provo, going to school. We had got engaged, and I had rented an apartment because we were planning to get married. But I didn't have a telephone, and so what was I to do? Well, I had met a girl who was in the
Marine Corps.
No, she was like a nurse in the Navy.
Okay, so she was part of the
Yeah.
support team.
Yeah. Anyway, she had got discharged. I'd met her in San Diego. Didn't know her real well, but I knew who she was. And she came to BYU the same as I did. She had rented an apartment down about a half a block or more from where I was, my apartment. And I had this appendicitis appendix attack about 1 o'clock in the morning. So what was I to do? I was hurting bad. I didn't have a telephone. I didn't have any transportation. So I got up and got dressed, hurting like all get out, and walked down the street and banged on her apartment door till she came to the door. She had a phone. And I had her call Dr. Jeffrey, And he can't drive, of course, so he had to wake his wife up. They came to the apartment. He examined me, determined I had appendicitis was my problem, called a doctor, a surgeon, and they loaded me in their car and took me to the hospital. And they operated on me about 4 o'clock in the morning. And there I was, getting ready to get married in the hospital with appendicitis. Grandma was in Soda Springs then. And she was so excited, I called her and told her that she wouldn't let her parents have any rest until her mother got in the car, loaded her in, and drove her all the way
To Provo.
Provo.
To make sure he was okay. He was important to me, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, they operated on me, and here I am. That's my appendix story.
Whoop whoop.
Anyway, I saw him and then I went home. And you came too, didn't you? When I went home,
I don't know whether I did or not. I can't remember.
it seemed like he went.
I don't think I did
He
because
came
my
up for a
mother was
visit.
here. Okay, now you want to hear another story?